Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. You are watching our coverage of the final week of qualifiers for the NACE Star League Varsity Premier Super Smash Bros. Tournament. My name is Audrey Norris, and tonight I am joined by Colin Majunkin to catch all of the action for Boise State versus Dallas Baptist. Though, a question before we get into this is, as we all know, Super Smash Bros. Is a game for families, friends, and everyone, but we're doing it competitively tonight, and there is a huge difference between just sitting on the couch with your friends, getting ready to do a free-for-all, and going up against another team of people who spend a lot of time perfecting their skills. So what is some really important things to keep in mind going into competitive Smash Bros?
Yeah, more than anything, as much as I can drop my opinion on things, the more important opinion to get to is a player's response, right? The people are going to be competing competitively in it because more than anything, they have more experience than I am. We're 100% of the way, so I'm going to take their word over anything. And one of the things they kind of mentioned too is learn the matchup and then learn the player, and that's sort of more the wiser sort of advice you can give to somebody, because more than anything, you can get used to playing a character and certain characters that you're going to counter and with your picks as well. And if you learn the matchup and if you learn who people are more comfortable playing, then you can understand how everything's going to predict out. And then obviously learn the player is the next step, right? Because characters are set into their movement styles and how they play and the tradition in which they play. And then the player can obviously expand upon that and make a character more deadly or not, depending on their skill level with it. And then, some of Doc's advice to them as well as in their own comfortability within their characters that they play themselves. You're a little more deadly if you play a character that you're more comfortable on at a high skill level than you are playing a character that you probably aren't super familiar with.
Yeah, and as always, you want to keep in mind going into any competitive game is Doc's keys to the game. And in Super Smash Bros., that is to punish openings, look for the two-frame, win in neutral, and don't forget to taunt. As always, Doc's keys to the game are brought to us by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games for you. So tonight, we have some exciting matches for us. We are going to be going into some crew battles. We could take a look at the event card real quick, potentially, to see what we're going to be going up against for this final night. This is a big match for Boise State here. As we know, it is going to be a best of 3, but it's going to be a 4-player crew battle. For those of you who don't know what a crew battle is, essentially how it works is each team has 4 players, and each player gets 3 stocks or lives. When they run out of lives in a match, they are knocked out. However, if you manage to come out of a fight with stocks left, you go into the next fight with however many stocks you had originally. So essentially, it's just trying to last as long as you possibly can. Each team has 12 lives, and they're trying to get the other team knocked out faster than they do.
Yeah, and you're locked into that character, so more than anything, it's having a main or two is important. Choosing that wisely, which is where I think it's so amazing when a singular player is able to take multiple stocks. If you can double your own, like I guess what you could call it a KDA, if you can go 2-1, that's absolutely amazing for you, especially considering you might get lucky with the matchup and there's the characters you're playing against, or you might just be that good at your job. And yeah, so more than anything, and a best of 2 as well, which can feel really. This is one of those games that I think can feel really dragged out if it ends up being intense fights, but it can. That's where the sort of attention span and the mental strength of your teammates sitting by idly sort of watching you, it can be anxious and it can build a lot of tension for them. So I think momentum's also very big to take a handle in this game mode.
Yeah, Super Smash Bros. Has a very interesting feeling and competitive compared to a lot of games. Like, in a lot of competitive games, when it's a team sport, you're all there in it together. But in Super Smash Bros., you're playing on your own with all your teammates watching around you. And because it's essentially one long battle, you don't really get a lot of time to take a break. And it's just a very intense situation. But each game is a different one, and you get to see a lot of different perspectives and plays and fights against different characters and players. So it's probably one of the best ways to get introduced to the competitive field because you get to see so many characters.
Mm-hmm. You know, you can really learn everything individually right into it. One of the things I want to mention is we talked about it a little bit before how important this matchup is. Dallas Baptist and Boise State are currently fighting for the last place position, third place, to get into an LCQ. Theoretically, yes, if either team was to win, they could still find a chance, or the team that loses could find a chance of LCQ. But probably win, get guaranteed.
Yeah, and as you can see, the fight is already really intense with Bowser versus King K. Rool here. Both teams are going out with their heavy characters, trying to figure out the other team and see what they can do. Both teams looking for their opportunities for that ledge. It's going to be a very drawn-out battle with two heavy characters with so much potential around. Now, but Bowser isn't going to give up that easily. Knocking King K. Rool off the side here. Both teams look like they might be within stock loss, and it does look like Boise State is going to lose a stock to falling off the ledge here. But Dallas Baptist is not off the woods yet. Bowser his first opening, and he knocks out the second stock, bringing it even 2-2.
Up 45.
Nice block there, able to get in. Attack. Out of distance. Not able to land any combos just yet, but he is able to bring him up to a higher percentage than he is right now.
Cover the damage off. In case they had a higher percentage by nearly 40. Wow, that charge is going to land anything. Small attack damage to get there. Landed. So it's like a little more longer drawn out match with these two heavies. Find the equalizer.
Yeah, close above 100%, but as we've been talking about, these heavy characters don't really care until they start to get closer to 150% unless they mess up on the ledge. So both teams are just shielding and looking for their opportunity to make a big move. And K. Rool tries to knock Bowser out, but he's able to recover on ledge here. Avoids the ledge guard as well. Ooh, gets in a powerful smack and knocks him off the side, guaranteed. Bringing it 2-1 in Boise State's favor.
But sitting at this 126, find the advantage here could be big. Grab the stock advantage, are you able to get any level of damage before you have to move on to the other one? It's inevitable, you have this much damage. One strike that lands between hits could be detrimental. It's good damage here. Still say there's 195 though. Just not going out of the arena, not at 210. King K. Rool is definitely feeling it right now. There it is.
Bringing it now back 1-1. Stocks are even, but Dallas Baptist is starting at a little bit of a disadvantage. No, quite a bit now. Around 97%. Boise State trying to prep for a ledge grab there, but able to look for it. He does land a grab though now. Tries to knock him off the side, but he was waiting for it. Does manage to keep him on edge over here though. Melfor's looking for his opportunity, throws him off the side again, grabs his crown and throws it at him too, just to remind him who's in charge right now.
Fake, a little bit of a fake, small amount of damage there. With the feeling comfortable on the edge, not for too much longer. The final stock's going to be taken, and that's Melfor going positive right now. And the one stock more than anything looking onto the future, going on to this another max. So that's the King K. Rool out of there, right? And so far out of the scouting that's been done by our players and by our coaches, there is a Yoshi in the lineup, which to your account as well, and sort of what we talked about, can be annoying to deal with. And then a Ganondorf. which is something that you also mentioned feeling comfortable on for our players, something that we dealt with before in the past very easily. The fourth is unknown, though. The fourth we're not able to find a whole lot of information on, so it's always kind of scary getting to an unknown because it's a coin toss, right? It's sort of like, are they going to be highly mechanical and really annoying to deal with, or are they just going to be something we can push over to the side and it's not going to be too much of a challenge? Don't really quite know. But that Yoshi, I feel like if Boise State can just get the Yoshi out of the way, it'll be in pretty good territory.
No, the Yoshi will definitely be a little bit more of a challenge for us. They tend to just be frustrating because they have some decent zoning abilities as well as just some general. They're just really fast and they're very light character. Like, he's a very light character, so it tends to go either we get a Yoshi out really quick or they just manage to survive because they're able to avoid all of our attacks really well. Overall, though, Boise State has had a lot of practice since the last time we fought a Yoshi, so we'll have to see. But it sounds like we're going to be seeing a Rob instead, which we do have a little bit more trouble with Rob sometimes. Rob is one of those characters that looks like they aren't very mechanically scary, but they have a lot going on with them, especially some combos that Rob can pull off if they do it correctly. There's not a lot you can actually do if you get trapped in it. And they have the spinning top, which does not seem like it's very useful when you just play him normally. Like, I remember I played Rob one time and I was like, this isn't fun. That thing gets really dangerous and competitive because competitive players will try to figure out how to get other people to land on the top, and I have seen some very scary combos off of it. So going into this, Boise State will want to be very wary of all of that with Rob, but because we fought him in the past, we do know kind of what to expect from a Rob player.
And definitely haven't seen a lot of high quality Rob players as well. It's definitely something to expect. Where our sort of quality of expectation for a Rob player is very high up there in terms of what are we fighting. And my sort of question is this the unknown character that was sort of like the unknown factor, or is it some other player bringing out something else that they play and feel comfortable on?
And we'll have to see because many competitive players will play different characters to test out the water especially. And as we can see, Rob is already doing what I was talking about with those combos and knocks Melfor off the side, bringing the stock total even now. Yeah, as we didn't really get a lot of time to talk on that match, but you can see what I was talking about there from our previous matchups. Rob has a nasty habit of getting you in the combo and then you never leave until you hit the edge.
One of the things I do like to see there is you actually see a little bit of the whiteboard there, and one of the things one of the things we talked about that's a little different than the traditional competitive games that we see naturally in the other games that we cover, Rocket League, Valorant, Overwatch. It's sort of a sense of they all have times in between, but there's not a whole lot of time to really sit there and communicate with your teammates. There is, most definitely, and there's definitely times that you can do that and sort of coach. The
Only
thing that
times really are timeouts most of the time.
Timeouts. Rocket League sort of like in between the matches, which is like at max most players take like 25 seconds to get into it. If you're on a really big losing streak, you can really draw it out and take the whole 60 seconds. Overwatch is probably a little bit longer. Valorant also takes a little longer. So there's definitely some spacing there, but I really like how the how our Smash team sort of writes things down on a whiteboard. They talk to each other. They're sort of in each other's heads, talking to it a lot. And there's a solid amount of strategy behind it as well, which is one of the things I do like about Smash. But God, that Rob is that was fast. I think that was probably like under a minute match, and that's the scary part about a Rob is they can either take the fight to you or take a second back and pelt you with some lasers that are going to keep you at a distance and do some damage while they're at it.
Yeah, they have a lot of options, and they also have really good recovery too with their little rocket boost. So they're just a nasty character to knock out, but it looks like Gunslinger is going to be trying to counter this Rob with a Palutena pick. We haven't seen Gunslinger use Palutena in quite some time, but it is a good character to do something like this, being able to dish out some nasty combos as well. And we've already seen bringing up Dallas Baptist to 51% here to Boise State's 22.
Solid ground again, and able to neutralize this Rob's effectability so far in the early part of the match. Solid damage off. Throwing the spinning top over and over and over again. The Light Lasers are going to find their way to give this Rob the damage advantage right now.
Boise State away at the ledge, is able to knock Rob back and try and get some distance. It does hit the 100% mark. That's just going to want to be careful going into these next couple interactions here, but does manage to throw the top away. Does not want to deal with that right now. Trying to keep it away from Rob, so they can't get off another nasty combo, but they get hit by a laser instead, losing the first stock of this game.
You know, I'm trying to think this might be their Yoshi player because, you know, I imagine
the way they play.
Yeah, the way they sort of play and the way their play style seems a little more annoying. Definitely even adjusting maybe on the fly, seeing the way that Yoshi plays so far and still gets to the finish.
Potentially see that, yeah. This Rob is playing very different from some that I've seen with the quick combos, but is very impressive here nonetheless.
Oh.
Pushing Boise State back once again to the ledge. Another successful ledge guard, but 103% on Boise State's side with 2 stocks. To Dallas Baptist, 149 with 1 stock. It's a dangerous spot for Boise State here.
Oh! Sucker punch right to the face. Take it all the way down to 1. Gonna even it out though. Not.
Gunslinger was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not losing all of my stocks without you losing 1 at least.
Now the good thing is they're back and sort of a feeding clean late here. And Gunslinger is able to find this early damage so quick. Rob is also insane in the recovery, finding a lot of combos. Damn.
Nice shield there for Boise State, prevented another nasty combo, knocking Rob off over to the ledge. Boise State's looking for their opening now. This top goes out and hits with a laser. Dallas Baptist is looking to start another spin. This top combo off the side, but Gunslinger is just throwing the top away, does not want to deal with it right now. Ooh, it manages to knock Rob off the side with it.
Essentially is Rob at a 123. A single good hit could be the ending of the Rob here, trying to sit on his ledge, but is he able to find anything? Big hit's going to push them off. Rob will be able to recover. Wilson trying to find something in the teleport away, not able to get anything. Green Top is still going to find it.
Close to the edge right now. Rob fires off another laser and just trying to get through the field. A really powerful attack from the side there. Knocks Boise State out, taking away their advantage now with a 2-stock difference.
Mm. And even so, even though I mean, you go down 2, and the really sort of sad part is the Rob gets to restart, even though they got all the way to 140% basically, they still get to start this at the 0% as well. So it's gonna be annoying to deal with, and more than anything, do they know now that there's an annoying Rob player as well?
Yeah.
So and I really am sort of crossing my fingers hoping that this ends up being the Yoshi player that was mentioned playing in a really annoying Rob, because if it's going to be a really annoying Yoshi and a really annoying Rob, I could see this.
That's the hope.
Yeah, being a very difficult match to end up taking. And once again, the stakes are high. The stakes are up there in terms of Boise State really wants to take this matchup, because you want to get into LCQ. You always want to be given that second chance. And we do have Seasons getting into this.
Yeah, Seasons Curly is going to be bringing out Ken to try and counter this Rob. Ken has in the past done really well against Robs with just being able to get such powerful attacks off. It makes Rob's recovery kind of just null and void if they can get a good Shoryuken off and launch him into the air. So the hope here for Boise State, they're going to be leaving Leodog for their kind of last bastion here, as they have in the past, to try and hopefully get this Rob out of the way, though, with Seasoned Curlies. This is going to be a very important matchup to try and get as many stocks off of the Rob, if not knock them out.
Yeah, no, I think 100% now you have to put a stop to this. There's no way you can let this sort of Rob. And yeah, even if you go even, if you take away the Robs 2 and you go 3, I feel like that'd be a dub anyway, because you sort of close it out and you even things back to what they're supposed to be, and you give Leodog a chance more than anything, because you at least want to give your teammates a chance.
And we do know that Leodog in the past is enough of a powerhouse with certain, like, just against certain characters that he can take 6 stocks with only losing a couple of his own if he loses any. So the most that they want to do right now is just set up Leodog for the best possible chance here. Or if they manage to knock out the Rob, then Seasoned Curlies could just go all the way too. But This Rob is really nasty, so I feel like Season Curly's isn't going to get out of this without losing at least 1 to 2 stocks here.
Yeah, I think this Rob is nasty enough to have the threat potential to take 2. You know, sort of it's out the bat. I think that's the expectation you sort of set yourself. Is just sort of like, don't get 3'd, but you know, at the very minimum, I think they have the potential, the sort of danger potential to take out 2, and it's going to be. That spinning top and the lasers they end up finding a combo with is just insane. And Rob having the option select to sort of just like choose of whether or not to go with sort of a long range capability and also a very good amount of recovery and just be able to take it to the fight to you as well is really insane. And I can just see why it's such an annoying character to play against.
Yeah. And Ken, although is a very strong character and has strong moves against characters like Rob, does have to deal with the distance gap you were talking about. Those long-range attacks mean that Ken has to be very careful about how they dodge in, which is something Season Curly's is going to be have to be super careful about to be able to take shots. But as we get into it, Rob is going to reset, bring himself down to 2 to 3. And as we can see, already going for the crazy combos, but Curly's is not having it and knocks him off the side already.
The damage. Rob looks for recovery and be able to get it back on the arena. Be able to find a good amount of combos. Only able to get to 60 at this Rob and only a couple hits to win to 40. Yeah, he's really trading these sort of string attacks back and forth. Trying these combos being so important for these 2.
Even in percentages, Boise State gets knocked back off the ledge. Does manage to stop the ledge guard. The spin kick there, and Boise State is looking for another opportunity to deny the combo. Catches the top. Boise State's doing a really good job of just denying the long-range camping right now.
Tops also be denied as well. The second one's going to go through, however. Denied 1 for 3. And the upward strike is going to find it. It's not completely out of the force yet. Sitting at 138, and the laser beam is going to hit. He's able to force him back a little bit, sit at the 145. He's going to finally use his ninja here. Only 1 more stock to really hit.
Yeah, and Boise State really wants that. They're going for it. The shield blocks most of the damage, but Boise State takes 28% for their trouble, but they are able to keep Dallas Baptist from getting the nastiest combo off. They are trying to knock Boise State off the ledge now. Recovery is going to be made, and ledge guard denied. And now Ken is at 93%. Rob has a lot of damage, but a wonderful attack off ledge knocks Rob out of the game, only losing 1 stock.
Beautifully played. You can see the hype from the players right there. Definitely the amount of relief that you get that, because that Rob is looking dangerous as well. Getting seasoned up to a 90% off that second stock. You sort of started feeling a little bit of tension there as the room got really quiet. But yeah, that's definitely a massive relief inside of Boise State, and to keep it within a 1 stock advantage as well for the side of Dallas Baptist, it's really important. And it sets Boise State up for a lot of success moving forward here.
Yeah, 1 stock is always really easy to come back from, especially with Boise State. A lot of power characters like Ken are really good at taking stocks if they're given the opportunity. So depending on what character Dallas Baptist picks next, it could be a Ganondorf, it could be an unknown. Might be Yoshi. I kind of doubt it. I think it's some unknown that we're not sure about. I wouldn't be surprised if Ganondorf comes out, but Ken would have a really good chance against Ganondorf. Just he's such a slow character that Ken can really take advantage of that. But it was a really well-played game for Season Curly's there. Just denying most of the zoning and combos was so big there, and that's really what makes Rob scary, is if you let him, as we saw with Melfor, when he got off the spin top combo, knocking him off the side, that's what you have to look out for with Rob. Rob is really scary, and every player, like we were talking about, plays it different. So some Robs are really grounded and like to stay in the middle. This Rob did not care. They were bouncing all over the place, and that was a very unpredictable situation for Boise State for a little bit. So being able to recover and come back from that is a really big deal, especially going into the next round where they'll be able to know this Rob is going to be kind of scary next time around.
Yeah, being able to win that neutral game is really important, and sort of in the sense of winning a lot of ground, and I feel like that's sort of what they do. I believe, was that Link that I
Yes.
yes.
The question is which Link, because we've got a couple. So we've got regular Link, not Toon Link coming out. Link is an interesting character. I like playing Link. He's fun. 2 of his abilities are pretty hard to use. You've got the boomerang, which is really nice if you can set it up right, and the bomb. The bomb requires some timing, but it is really potent on ledges. He also has, well, I guess the bow. Yeah, the bow is good for, he has zoning ability as well. And he does have some decent recovery as well, but it'll be a good matchup for Ken here because his range is not, like, super insane. The bow doesn't deal a ton of damage, but this will be an interesting matchup. We haven't seen
Bring it
at all
on!
in NACE yet. So we're going to set our stocks.
Right, I think actually, I think there was a Link that there was Link last week, perhaps, if I remember correctly. Last time I was on a Smash broadcast before you say hi to the player.
Link doesn't do a ton, but he definitely has some potential, as you can see. Throws out the boomerang, does catch Ken off guards. He hurries. Knocked away now. 81%. As well as about
98 though, and that bomb is going to find great value there. Ooh, and he's not able to recover. He's able to take one, but right now sitting at a pretty shift right now. They're very comfortable. Ken able to find like a pretty big combo. Lands. Back up, going.
nice combo there. Escape, but he launches him into the air. There's opportunity. Nice read there from Season Curly's and knocked him off the side there. Link's goal right now is just to try and keep him off his feet, but he doesn't care and takes a stock, bringing it back to 1 difference in stocks right now, 2-1. Guess we really critical at 91%, but he is taking some ground back for Boise State.
Just I was about to say, it's really important that that last stock here is really going to go in for just trying to get really effective strikes and to potentially get this Link down to 1 stock as well, assuming as they're at a pretty high damage rating already. But nevertheless, starting to narrow it down. We absolutely know for a fact, we're still sort of in the dark here in terms of, we know for a fact that King K is there. We know the Raw player, but still a little confused on, you know, if that Raw player is that Yoshi player. And I think once this Link gets taken out of the game, we'll sort of have a full picture on there.
Yeah.
And even in the sense of if Boise State doesn't even win this round, there's still the second round of now we got a whole list of the 4 that they are more than likely to play. And we can really start formulating, you know, sort of a change in rotation of players.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see with the Link, you know, most likely the unknown player. It would be amusing if he was the Ganondorf player, though, because then he plays Link and Ganondorf, and I feel like just playing the opposites would be really funny, but I kind of doubt that because they play very differently, and that would be hard. But it is possible. The big question is just Leodog will definitely want to try and get through Link's stocks here to at least be able to scout out who the final member is. If not, take the rest of it from them. Leodog will be a really nice matchup against this Link, though, because both of them can throw out their projectiles, and we'll see which one of them manages to set it up best. Ken definitely struggles against characters like that, but he did manage to take 1 stock, making it a lot easier for Leodog coming up here, who is most likely going to be playing DDD.
Yeah, you have the stock advantage, so you can sort of take it. And at the very minimum, Leodog is definitely in a difficult position in terms of now they're gonna have to get through 5 stocks with their 3, which is possible. We've seen Leodog get through 6 or 7 on their 3 as well. So it's a possibility. It most 100% is, but it's going to be a difficult task going into it at the end of the day, and it's a best of 3. So even if you do end up losing this round and perhaps not catching up as you want, you don't think you have to stay strong.
Yeah. Just gonna reset now. Boise State waiting, throws a spike to let him know what he's about to be in for, and as we can see, both projectiles already going out immediately. benefit Leodog has is that he's got significantly more room to work with being a heavy character against a lighter character. So although Link does deal a lot of damage, as we can already see, he's just shrugging it off right now. Most of the players just looking for their combos.
Yeah, you know, on a technicality, you can go blow for blow because not only A can take the hits more, but you also have stock advantage going forward. Ideally, is that what you want? Not really. I mean, it's at the very minimum, it's what we talked about, scouting on this third.
Goes on a spike, it is blocked by a shield, but both players just trying to get their projectile set up and keep bouncing them off each other. Almost there with this spin on ledge. Link just barely dodging it. 105% now. Now 116. Leodog has a nice opening for the hammer if he can. Trying to avoid the boomerang though. Now is
playing a lot of this in the air. Really trying to find this guy right here. You get a lot of zone. Sitting at a very even percentage here. Leodog's going to find the advantage once again. Get some ledge guard in. Does hit. Send him off the arena. Trying to find it. A whole lot of damage found there. It is though, however.
yeah, Link's just AoE sword attack there is very powerful too, as you can see, but is going to go in and take a stock from him. Not a lot you can do when you're just falling off the side of ledge and DD comes in with the big hammer, but that does even it up, makes it a little bit easier here for Person Stage. Leodog just needs to get through one more stock. Some damage, but it's not a big issue just yet.
Closing this block here, but Leodog standing at 70% right here to this Link's 0. So far, gonna have to find something, gonna send the arrow back, and block out again. Leodog's at A2, oh, but here comes out the combo attack. They are gonna land and find some value out of it as this Link is slowly going up. Within 10 seconds, they're already back up to roughly about a 60%.
Nice spike hit from Leodog. Gets a swallow off too. Starting to gain control of the middle field here. Is still successfully managing to bounce a lot of the spikes though, either by bouncing them back or shielding. Just grab.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Oh,
The game
wow.
faked us out, but Leodog decided, nope, it is over. Jumps off the side and hits him with the hammer, knocking him off ledge, giving Leodog 2 stocks to face the final Dallas Baptist player.
And you know, and considering who they are, that's also sort of a big thing. Of 2 is very doable to come back with, and you know, now you're really in the realm of possibility in terms of, you know, we sort of said in the beginning at the very minimum find the scout potential, but now I feel more than anything it's okay.
So we've heard it is the Yoshi player next, which means that the unknown player was Rob most likely.
I think yeah, the unknown was more than likely
Rob. He felt like he knew what he was doing, so it's most likely his main.
Yeah.
Which means Yoshi will be a very interesting character for Leodog to go against, but probably not the worst matchup that Boise State could have against this Yoshi. Leodog has a lot of good ways to deal with Yoshi. He can definitely pull this one out, I think, of just like kind of the brink here. As long as he's careful. Yoshi is also a very light character, so that's going to work in Leodog's advantage just when it comes to how much damage each player can take before getting knocked out. The main question is whether or not this Yoshi is going to be able to effectively block the spikes, because one of the hardest things for Leodog is when the spikes start getting blocked in a way where he just can't zone them out or get them in a spot where he can get them more effectively with a grab or a hammer.
And I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that lightness is going to be a really big disadvantage to the situation more than anything. Because getting those combos is so effective going into it. And you know, these hero plays where this is something that coming from Leodog as well, because you can no longer trade down the damage across your stock, because you have this negative percentage, and you know this round ends effectively after this fight. So.
And Yoshi gets some really powerful tail attacks off at the beginning too. That is something you have to be careful with Yoshi. As you can see, he's just not taking Leodog off the side, and Leodog loses one of his stocks just from that. This is one of the biggest problems with Yoshi here, is he just has all of his tail and hook attacks are very strong and also knock you back quite a bit, so they're very good for getting off the stage, as we can see here. Boise State is playing it a lot safer now, though. Leodog is trying to look for his opening. He does not want to get caught on the side of the stage right now.
Very effective reset. It's going to be very annoying. Leodog going to be able to find some good damage so far, but now he's just sitting on the front stock. Some more solid damage off here. Knock off the ledge and finding even more solid damage. He's going to be able to knock it down one. Sitting at his decent number 38 here. That is fair for Rita.
Get knocked near the edge. Leodog is off the side, but he manages to recover and gets his feet on the ground first, getting some damage off. And now it's backwards here. A spike combo. Not able to fully realize it, but still Boise State some decent damage on the Yoshi.
Finally able to knock it off, get some space here. Finally get a second to 3 against Yoshi connects right back in. Leodog's gonna be sitting at 120, gets the combo, and there's the game attack right there. And what we confirmed in the beginning being what was going to be a very annoying prediction that we made of a Rob player and a Yoshi player has come to pass.
Yeah, we do now know like what the relative types of characters we're going to be going up against. Now, between this round and next round, players can swap out.
Yep.
There's a very high likelihood that we could be seeing some different characters come out, maybe the Ganondorf that was talked about later on. But before we do that, we're going to head to break real quick before the next match. So we will see you for the next one.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
everyone, and welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are going to continue our coverage of the NACE Star League Varsity Premier Super Smash Bros. Final qualifying match for Boise State and Dallas Baptist tonight. My name is Audrey Norris, and I am once again joined by Colin Majunkin to continue calling all the action as we get back into this best of 3. Currently, Boise State is down 1 round, and we have at least 1 more to go, maybe 2 if Boise State is able to come back. We now have a lot more information than we did going into this. Yep. We've learned a lot about their characters, and so we're going to be learning a lot about just how they play this round and see if we can figure out how to deal with them. Yeah,
one of the things we sort of discussed about that before we went to break that we didn't really finish on is now sort of the unlock on the characters has sort of opened up, right? People can sort of change about. I think it's mainly if we do see any character changes, it's going to be from Boise State, trying to find a way to adapt around, finding a way around Dallas Baptist and their sort of play style. I think probably in their eyes they've played very effectively. Everyone sort of besides, I mean, honestly, almost all their players went positive. I think the only one who didn't do well was their King K. Rool. Everyone else, their Yoshi, their Link, their Rob, all did pretty well. The Link and the Rob were able to be shut. If we can shut those people down and end up facing the Yoshi with the positive ratio,
that'll be a lot better.
Then I think that'll be a lot better setup. But I'm also very interested to see if they'll switch up their rotation as well.
Yeah.
If they'll end up bringing out somebody stronger first round and try and take a lead back, because they have the momentum here. Dallas Baptist has the momentum, and more than anything, I think bring out somebody strong. Perhaps their Link or the Rob is the first one thrown out, and then keep the Yoshi as an anchor. Might be a decent way to get a stock advantage early on.
Yeah, a big one will just be seeing how they shape up their lineups. I agree that Dallas Baptist is probably very confident right now about their character picks. They were doing really well in pretty much every match they were in. So it'll just be Boise State trying to figure out where to put their characters and swap around, because certain characters are going to do a lot better against others. So I wouldn't be surprised if we, see Curly's first this time around to try and deal with some of the lighter characters that are a little bit more annoying. As we saw, he did a really good job against Rob, and so he's probably going to be trying to counter some of the characters earlier on in the roster instead of trying to deal with the later on ones.
Yep.
And so that's just going to be something that Boise State is going to have to work around here. I think we'll see pretty similar picks for Boise State for the most part. I could see potentially Gunslinger or Melfor changing, as they both have some pretty standard swap-ups from Palutena to Joker and from Bowser to Banjo. So it's really just a question of what they feel is going to be most comfortable for these matchups that we're going to be getting into right now.
And of course, you always run the risk of Dallas Baptist changing up their line.
As we know, Ganondorf, we were told, is missing still currently. But it looks like it's going to be Ken versus King K. Rool. Character with super powerful punches against a character with incredibly just good super armor and just a lot of health to work around. So as we can see, Boise State has already taken 44% in damage here, but he's looking for his opening. That doesn't matter to Ken too much right now, because if he gets his combo off, he will be able to make up the gap easily.
Lock off. Get some attacks. So see how this 8% is going to follow off the stage here, able to recover before Seasons can. Cinch a little bit. Lucan's going to find some guy there. They have
tried to block, but it wasn't successful. Boise State keeping control of the middle. Wants to knock King K. Rool off the side here. Not able to go for the ledge guard, but they are still currently holding down the middle right now. Crash comes out. Boise State dodges the rest of the combo.
Able to find a little bit of the combo. Solid timing. A little bit. Punch. Brown's going to find it well. He's able to get a good attack in. He still feel comfortable having fight.
but he does get a jab off the gate, tries to bring him to the knockout, but he is able to just barely recover on ledge. Tries to lead. Doesn't immediately attack. Does get off another really nice Shoryuken though, bring it 2-2. Boise State has a little bit more confidence now against the KK rule, sending off some really nice combos there. Already bringing damage up as much as they possibly can.
Grabbing kind of quick. That quite a high amount of damage here. Second stock is going to try and live with the combo. Edge. A lot of good control right now. Combos and going to be able to find it, get solid damage. Still only sitting 64 right here and counter hits.
Block there. Off. Able to counter the projectile from King K. Rool. And the crown jumps over it, gets hit in the blunderbuss though and loses a stock to it. State is in a dangerous spot right now against King K. Rool. Nice block there though.
Blocks him in. 112. That's definitely take advantage of. Off the map. Stop count. What I want to do is take the minimal amount of damage possible. Block the plus. Find some space. Thing. The projectile's not going to be blocked whatsoever. How do you hear?
Oh, Boise State does get in close though and is able to get off an attack. Counters though. Boise State really is trying to get another stock out, but unfortunately they get caught in the grab and King K. Rool is able to knock him out, bring it down. Boise State now down 2 stocks in this next match.
Yeah, you know, it's a little difficult. And in your opinion, was that matchup probably the best for Seasons Curly to go against the King K. Rool right off the bat?
No, I think that Curly's just because of the having to go up against 2 projectiles as a with Ken is just never good. Ken really struggles against projectiles. That has always been Curly's biggest pressure point whenever he plays against a character. So the fact that he had to go against the King K. Rool right off the bat just wasn't really a great matchup for him. And although he did have the firepower to get through just the fact that King K. Rool is such a heavy character and has just that extra armor too with his belly, just wasn't really able to make up for that for this next match. So Boise State is going to be struggling a little bit from here. It's just going to be a question of who they think can take out King K. Rool and get him out of the way, which it looks like they might be putting Leodog up to bat, which will be very interesting for Boise State as he is normally the anchor at the end, which means they really want this King K. Rool out.
Yeah.
And whoever comes next probably as fast as possible.
Which, yeah, probably makes sense. To sort of I think this is the second time around that I've seen this person come out. The first time that I ended up casting a Smash broadcast ended up seeing Leodog come out in the second round as a second character to sort of hopefully take some early stocks that they can end up finding and end up being a really annoying character and get back the spacing that they lost, right? Because they lost a lot with sort of at a 2-stock advantage. That at the beginning can be rather annoying to find some. Yeah, it is going to be the same matchup.
3, 2, 1, go!
Baptist is going to reset down to 2 stocks. This is going to be a much more even match in terms of percentages, with both of these characters being very heavy. Leodog's going in with the hammer to try and get some quick damage off, and does manage to get a spike off as well. And a grab combo off the ledge. Leodog is not playing around right now. He wants this King K. Rool gone as quick as possible.
Trying to get the early quick advantage right now. Definitely a number advantage. At the current moment, we're sitting at a 40. King K is sitting at a 160. Legendary spike looked like it was hit. Wasn't able to find it. Get a big amount of damage off. Mike. Looking for it, is going to be able to take it around, find something, and they're both going to go off the ledge for it.
That trade with the Blunderbuss tucking in DDD there is pretty nasty, but they do manage to take a stock. Boise State definitely didn't want that, but they were able to at least bring Cable down. And they still have 2 stocks to go on their side. As you can see now, Leodog is playing a little bit more carefully, but he's still managing to do a lot of damage with the hammer right now.
Checked out. Sound redirect finds the value.
Nice combo with the crown there. Just isn't it like one of his spikes? And some really effective work for him. He does manage to get to swallow off on K-Rool and another spike combo. Leodog is looking for that ledge guard if he can. Wasn't able to really get anything from it.
These combos coming out. Okay. We're gonna do it more. If you sit not before what I said, we hit the spikes, he's gonna find some value. Leodog trying to get the finish off, trying to end the fight. Causing Kenny able to dodge the crown for the second time. Able to get a time with the spike here. They're not gonna follow up the ledge once again. So where the hammer's gonna find a lot more value. The spike's gonna find it as well. Not gonna get to the standard.
More projectiles being thrown on both sides right now. Ooh, but with a nice hit from the hammer, Leodog does manage to take out King K-Rool, bringing the stock counter no, actually,
I believe 1 stock.
1 stock closer, I think, right now. Yes, we've got 1 stock closer, which every extra stock you can take to bring it as close as possible is what you want. So being able to bring it back to 1 is what Leodog needs right now, especially because coming up next, depending on how they've changed their lineup, which so far King K-Rool has stayed the same, he could be going up against the Rob, which is a scary matchup for almost every character, but Leodog does have the spikes to be able to try and zone out some of the tops and the lasers, though that is going to just still, regardless, it's dangerous because Rob is a very fast character.
But also has that ability, and also saw it happen a lot. I feel like the only counter is the speed to this, but being able to redirect the spinning tops back towards the Rob as well, because Leodog was able to handle that with the crown throw and the blunderbuss shot, of being able to absorb that and send that right back out, which could throw the Rob off balance as well. I honestly, at this rate, you know, I know it's super early to really call anything. I do think it'll probably be the Rob. I don't see them changing the roster, because it was the Rob that went second, and then the Link, and then the Yoshi was their anchor. So I do think what you called out earlier, they're feeling comfortable, they're feeling strong, they feel really advantageous in it. I think maybe now that they see Leodog come out and know that Leodog is their anchor, they might respond with something to sort of counter that in hopes it might be the Yoshi. I don't think so. It would be, but yeah, honestly,
Anchor versus anchor at this point,
yeah,
which could be very dangerous depending on what we're going into with this next area, because getting either team's anchor out of the way could be very scary for them, but it looks like we are going to be seeing that Dallas Baptist is going to be bringing out Yoshi to counter Boise State's DDD. We're going to be seeing the battle of the anchors right now a little bit from the previous matchup, and it looks like Leodog does not want to mess around in this match either, already firing off the spikes.
Kind of what this lets you know about Dallas Baptist. Their Yoshi feels really confident as well, knowing that they can take a same situation of a stock advantage against Leodog. And Leodog, once again, not taking any time to mess around with this. Solid damage. Good points already. Able to dodge the egg. Solid damage. If they end up losing their anchor this early on, this could be dangerous for them. And feeling the heat right now, having taken very little damage, He's going to find a little bit of a break here. Some of the damage he had so far. Going to send Leodog up to 50% though.
Ooh, he starts to try and get that combo off, but that hammer comes out and Leodog is able to turn it in his favor right now. 87 on Leodog. Not as dangerous as it could be, though he definitely doesn't want Dallas Baptist to get that 12%, so he's looking for his opening right now. Nice roll into the spike. Yoshi hides in the egg for a moment. More spikes coming out. Leodog is seeing a lot of success right now with his spike combos, which is what he wants. He wants to be able to get as many stocks out of this Yoshi's corner right now.
108. Good combos, but we're up even more here. Oh, I'm going to send it back into space. Sends a spike out once again. Says high percentage. Oh. Once again, blow, major blow here. Oh, but sitting at a high percentage here. A big combo can easily get this back out. So I think he's going to be able to get some good block damage here, though.
Just gets that one nice hit right now. As long as he's on the other side, like not on the other side of the stage, he'll see a lot of success with this attack. Launches it up into the air, looking for the next combo. Yoshi avoids it. Leodog really wants it. Knocks him into the air, bringing it 1-1. Boise State isn't out of this just yet. Both teams looking for their openings. 60% on Leodog now. Starting to slow down a little bit now. He's looking for his openings. He's at 94%. He's got to be really careful against this Yoshi. He is able to get some combos to keep him up in the air and off his bounce.
The dangerous 110 though. This Yoshi probably a little bit something when you have to sit a little before the spikes are going to land though. Closely countered, the spike's going to be sent right back to sender. Damage to the egg, keeping a lot of control. Right now, the middle part, gonna get more damage off. Leodog in this heavy character's gonna be able to get the swallow, get more damage off, starting to even things off. But seeing 104 is still dangerous, especially considering this Yoshi is able to dish out damage at a very high quality and quantity.
Yeah, you can tell that Leodog in that last ledge altercation really wanted to get there, but the Yoshi isn't there yet. He's able to avoid all of these attacks right now. He's keeping Leodog at a distance because he knows that hammer is dangerous. Spike gets launched out, go across to the ledge again. Leodog avoids a very nasty ledge guard. Nice dodge there, gets a grab. Dallas Baptist over to the side.
Wow! It's gonna be
wonderful read.
Wow! An absolute risk, honestly, from Dallas Baptist to bring out their anchors, and our anchor is going to be able to find the advantage in the end, and what at a negative stock advantage as well. Losing out, have lost at a one stock difference, and being able to bring it back here, but. I honestly don't think Boise State's out of the woods right now because they still have to deal with the Lincoln and Rob that are able to find pretty effective values at the end of the day and be able to be annoying. So I think Leodog really coming out strong, and that's what we talked about, able to find a 6 stock value at the end of the day, or no, a 5 stock value because they're able to take 2 off the Team K and then get 3 there. So if they're able to get 1 off of whoever's able to come out next, honestly, if you had to pick between the Lincoln or the Rob, who would you send out? If you're a Dallas Baptist?
I think the Link would be more annoying, and keeping the Rob as your anchor would be pretty important. Rob is really strong, and so trying to get Leodog out of the way, that way you can kind of pave a way for that Rob to be really nasty, because Rob had some really good success against the last 2 players on Boise State's side besides Leodog. Melfor and Gunslinger both had characters that just didn't match up well against Rob, and so I think that if they wanted to, they'd probably pull out the Link right now to try and get that last stock off of DDD. DDD definitely has a chance of taking his stock, but it's really just a question of who's able to get the momentum in their favor first. As we saw with the last 2 matches that Leodog played in, when he started just really fast and was just able to put on the pressure, he was seeing a lot of success and then able to kind of just step back and be careful at the end. So we'll have to see if he can get that just those combos up against whoever he's going to be facing next.
Here we get a peek. It is going to be the link that they're going to go against. You were able to predict it accurately. It is better to keep the ball than Maker, which is what they're going for right now. Doing reset here, setting it back down to 1. And honestly, Leodog once again with sort of a common mentality. Getting 1 here is at the max for getting 2 to be doing beautifully well. Such a really advantageous position. But quite honestly, that's just the mentality that you're looking for. It's off to Leodog to find the advantage here.
Yeah, you always are starting to become more comfortable when you have the 2-stock advantage, and that's what Leodog's looking for when he launches that spike there. Tries to go in for the ledge grab. Both of these players are very good at blocking projectiles, as we can see from that link. But Leodog has the advantage right now here, just the damage he's outputting. Keeping Link on the ledge too, knocks him off the side of the stage and bounces him off, sending him plummeting, taking a stock from him. He still has a really good chance of taking another too, so Leodog, he's looking for it too. You can see the swallow, he's waiting for his hammer combos here.
Really like that follow-up. Wrist there, getting that off the ledge. Follow gets some damage here, starting to even it out as it almost even gets almost the advantage in terms of the stock. In terms of the numbers, able to get a really big combo here. This link is not looking great right now. Leodog's feeling hot. Able to find that stock counter. Has already found the advantage of the team here. He's in at 119. But the heavy character is able to send the boomerang back. And the clock is going to come out.
Nasty spike, taking another stock from Dallas Baptist. Leodog has looked at this and went, no, no, no. I'm going all the way if I can here. At 128% now. He's still going strong, trying to look to see if he can maybe take out this link and pave a way for his team here. Unfortunately, he does end up losing his stock, but bringing Link down to 1 stock to go against the final 2 players for Boise State. As we were talking about, just incredible. He's now taken a total of 7 stocks, I believe.
And a grand total out of the 2 rounds, and 8 stocks because they were able to take 1 off the Yoshi. But in just round 2 alone, has able to amazingly like quadruple that number in terms of 1 to 2 or 1 to 7. It's an absolutely amazing performance from Leodog right there, and has set the team up beautifully to see it out honestly to the end now, because this link is only at a 1 stock advantage right now, and depending on who Boise State kind of takes out, which I imagine we'll see in a moment of who we bring into that chair and. I see you peeking. I feel like you have a little bit of advantage because I haven't yet looked over cheated. But if you hadn't had cheated, who would you think it is?
I mean, regardless, I was going to say that Melfor would probably have a really good chance. He does Bowser and Banjo, and both of those are really good against Link. Bowser is just really strong, and if he gets a good grab off, he can knock Link off the side. And then Banjo has some really good zoning potential to counter both the arrows and the boomerangs that we're talking about. Like, he has just kind of a rapid-fire egg Gatling gun kind of style thing that he can do, which is really good if Link just tries to throw out multiple projectiles. Both of them are gone, and then he has to deal with all of the eggs being shot at him. And he also has his signature move, the Wonder Wing, which is a really, really good move if you can set it up properly. Essentially, it's just a very high percentage dealing move, and so any medium to light character around 100 and 120% gets hit by the Wonder Wing on, like, at the edge of the stage, gone. There's almost nothing you can do. It is that strong. And so against Link, it's a really nice move to have in his corner if he decides to go with Banjo instead of Bowser. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bowser again, since he was having some really good success overall, but I think either character would go really well against Link.
Yeah, so Melfor is going to be, Melfor is most definitely the one, we saw it just a second ago on camera. It's definitely going to be the one to take it home for us in the third, facing the third player, and finding this 2-stock advantage. Obviously, the perfect scenario would be finding the 1 stock without losing any, because then you have a 6-stock advantage, and this Rob is you
need him.
Yeah, more than anything, yeah. I feel like you deal with the present here. Like, don't get too focused on the future of, like, we have to deal with this Rob. But it's also, like, focus on getting this 1 stock and if you can do it losing 1-1 or just, you know, best case scenario, only losing 0 here going into it, then you have a 6-stock advantage going against the Rob. It'd be important.
And as we can see, we are going to have Banjo going up against this Ling. So Dallas Baptist is going to have a different character to face up against now in this matchup here. And as you can see, he also has the grenades going out too. He looked at the 2 projectile strategy that Dallas Baptist had and went, yeah, I can do that too. And it's already playing out really well for him as the first Wonder Wing comes out. Wow. And he's able to keep Link on the side here, denies the ledge recovery, and just able, wow, bringing him all the way up to 85%.
So fast, and nevertheless getting more and more value out of it. Has yet to find a strike to land so far. Just as I say that, they're going to be able to find a really good combo. Sit up to 106. It's really dangerous for this Link to be sitting here right now, and the nade is going to also find value, as they're not going to be able to find the time in there. The AO didn't find anything in exchange. Link is going to try and find out a combo counter themselves with their own little grenade.
Ooh, nice. Oh! He tried to use the powerful falling sword ability, but Melfor saw it coming and was able to counter it, knocking him up into the air and taking 1 stock without losing any, setting Boise State up for a really comfortable matchup against this Rob now, with 6 stocks to spare, or I guess 5 stocks to spare against the Rob. We assume Rob. Could be Ganondorf.
Yeah, that's actually the point. That's the point I was going to bring up. You can hear it a little bit in the background. I imagine not, but the hype's got to be there in terms of they're feeling really comfortable now. This 6-stock advantage, they've managed to turn this around completely. What was Dallas Baptist able to take it, with the 2-stock advantage at the end of the day, has completely switched the roles. The turntables really have turned here, and yeah, what we can assume is the Rob. It could end up being something different. I imagine it's not going to be the Ganondorf. Like you sort of said, we feel very comfortable against that specific character, and I imagine it is these 2 players that we would specifically reference to deal with that character.
Rob has been doing really well, so they don't necessarily have a reason to swap him out, especially against Banjo. I feel like Ganondorf would struggle more against Banjo than Rob would, because Ganondorf's so slow that just dealing with how fast Banjo could be would be really hard. Rob has a better chance overall going into this next match, though they could be looking to the next player too. But it looks like we're going to get a completely different character we haven't been expecting, which is instead Zero Suit Samus, which is can play similar to the Samus counterpart. She's a lot faster, and she mostly uses a pistol and just like melee combo, which is going to be really nice for BSU here with how many ranged opportunities they have against this Zero Suit.
Not more than anything, the only point I'm going to bring up is not more than anything, I'm really confused onto what we thought was going to be the Link and the Ganondorf when we knew the unknown was the Rob, but now I'm more than confused because I thought I was going to be able to fill in the chart that I sort of have on the desk, but now I'm not going to be able to at all.
More questions as we get answers to some of our questions and just more questions overall. But the Zero Suit Samus is an interesting choice for this matchup. As we can see, if they weren't on the other side of the stage there, that would have been a knockout, but Dallas Baptist is going to get away with a little bit more damage on Melfor here. Ooh. But Melfor's just going to bring out the bear paw and knock them out, bringing the stock total 2-3 in Boise State's favor now.
Zerosuit's not able to find a lot of damage, not able to really put Melfor on a sort of risky or stressful scenario right here, because they're staying at 55 right now when they're able to find the combos to just really bring it up, able to get at a 60 now. But the Zero Suit not able to just looking like Melfor's feeling really comfortable in this matchup right now.
Yeah, Melfor has a lot of room to work with right now, just with the Samus not having a lot of range. He's been having a field day right here, as we can see, knocking Samus up into the air and launching them off the side. He's been really comfortable with his ledge guarding too. Both of them kind of waiting. They knew what was coming there. Dallas Baptist was trying to dodge. Very dangerous attack. They do manage to take a stock off of Melfor there, but with 97% on their side, Fulcor is in a really nice position as he knocks out another stock just in response.
Yeah, now just in a really comfortable position here. I feel like you're not really trying to withhold a stock advantage anymore. You're just trying to close it out here, and with with the 2-stock lead right now compared to what they got, you really just want to close this match out. And I imagine you want to do this without having to bring out Ben's thing right now. 0-6 damage. Just completely out of the fight right now, skyrocketing all the way to 83%.
Wonderwings lost in recovery there. Very close to hitting, but weren't able to land. If he does manage to land one of those, it could spell doom for Dallas Baptist right now. Samus at 100%, that is a dangerous spot against Banjo. Oh, almost knocking him out too, but he's able to recover. One Wing left for this stock. Knocks him down and launches him into the air, giving Boise State the win for the second of the series here, bringing them both up 1-1 going into the final match now between these two teams.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, I
Impressive
really
comeback, right?
Yeah, I really did not expect this to sort of play out that way. I was really honestly surprised. It did make sense in my head to see Leodog come out sooner in round 2 lineup, because that's what I saw last time. But yeah, to see it come out and to see the W over the Yoshi, and then from there their lineup to collapse, it was really beautiful to see.
Yeah, it was a really incredible comeback for Boise State, now giving us the opportunity to come back in the final match. But before that, we are going to head to break, so we will see you after that.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, hide out. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it. Idaho Central Credit Union, looking after your daily balance.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena for the third and final match of our NACE Star League Varsity Premier final qualifying matches for Super Smash Bros. My name is Audrey Norris, and I am joined by Colin Majunkin to call all of the action. We just came back from an incredible comeback for Boise State after losing the first match to Dallas Baptist tonight. So now going into this final match, the question has to be, we've seen quite a few characters come out on each side, and so we have to wonder, who do we think they're going to lead with now, as we've seen a couple swap-ups in the lineup that were both favorable for both sides at this point.
Yeah, but and the stakes are high more than anything in this, and I feel like I feel like now more than anything that's gonna dictate how Dallas Baptist and Boise State are going to configure the lineups, because there is no after this, right? This is to do or do not, right? Like this is end all be all. You either one team's gonna make it and one team's not gonna make it, right? It's the end of the season, so I feel for the side of Dallas Baptist, what was a lot of momentum they gained, and they're able to risk a lot, right? Like the normality of it was the King K came out, and that was sort of that's been their entry so far. So I feel like if King K comes out to begin with, then I feel like they're gonna go back to a round 1 start of where it's the King K, Rob, Link, and then Yoshi. I feel like it was a major risk for them to take with the Yoshi coming out. And I more than anything was the Yoshi player confident that, oh yeah, I'm able to take their anchor go for go, and I was able to, I was only able to
take him out first round, so it should be fine. Unfortunately for him, Leodog was not messing around, and when he had stocks to work with, even though he actually had one less stock than the Yoshi, because he was in just a different position, it was a lot more favorable for Boise State. So it will be a question of who they're going to pick for their anchor this time around and how they're going to handle it, because as we saw, there were some really nice lineup changes that were just absolutely devastating. And like in hindsight, they looked horrible. They seemed like they'd be beneficial at the beginning, but once we got through it, it did not end well for either side. So Boise State, now having the advantage here, have some more wiggle room, and have kind of they've shown their hands a little bit now. We've seen both of Melfor's characters. We have not seen Gunslinger play more than once, so Boise State does have a little bit of information to withhold, and that will be an advantage for them going into this.
Not having to bring out the Gunslinger there, because now we absolutely, I mean,
we know
we talk,
for the most part.
I would honestly say we know 50 we know 50% of it. I think we're a little bit more, our cards are a little bit more shown with, they most definitely know, Leodog's going to bring out the key DD, and they probably have a little bit more figure out. They know Melfor's play. They know Season is going to play the Ken more than likely, and the Season's going to come out. Yeah, so we are going to get a lineup of Melfor versus this Rob going up. In your opinion, is this a solid matchup, Logan?
Yeah, Boise State has a very dangerous opponent to start out, but if they manage to take Rob out at the beginning, this could be really big for them here. As we see Banjo is throwing out his projectiles right now, looking for his opening. Both sides. Now, Boise State getting a really nice combo off there. Rob up 27%. That's not great just yet for Boise State, as Rob can deal a ton of damage if given the opportunity.
Solid damage job so far. Not that this Rob really have a lot of room to work with. Combo sitting pretty so far compared to the numbers of this Dallas Baptist Rob right now.
93% now on Rob. Boise State has been able to do a lot of really solid chip damage here. He does get a scary attack off. Good dodge of the laser there.
Real nice. Oh. Supposed to end it all. There it is. No.
Oh, unfortunately, just on the side, just on the other side, not able to do enough damage to get him knocked out, but Boise State knows now that if they land a really nice hit here, Rob can and will lose his next stock.
Able to recover here. The top is going to find it, and wow, the Rob's able to reverse it just a little bit, but they're not clearly out of the woods yet. They're going to get a lot of small little bit of combo damage. So, yeah, there it is. An easy send back, simple attack. Going to send this Rob stock as well.
Melfort taking a lot of damage by Ledge here. He is able to stop the combo from going to its full fruition.
Here, trying to keep it as even as it possibly can be. This Rob and Nade's also getting a combo as well. Oh! Big combo there, the big laser is going to come out. Melfort sitting at 97 right now, able to dodge. Laser beam, Rob's going to come out and get blocked as well. Currently finds the midfield, but pretty even so far. Going to be able to dodge it. Wow! Rob can really put Melfort to one stock left right now, but they're not. They're sitting pretty worried right now. It's sitting at 97. We saw them get to 150 before. Definitely Melfort can pull up good moves. Send this Rob off the screen.
Yeah, Melfort is definitely looking for one more stock to take from this Rob. If not two. He can get at least one, though. He will make it a lot easier for whichever Boise State player comes next here. Dodges away from the attack, gets hit off on the ledge, uses a Wonder Wing to recover. Rob on the ledge now, he's looking for an opening. There's very careful right now. Nice hit there. Away. Once again, Rob on ledge. Banjo is able to knock him away. Knocks him away again. He's looking for another opportunity. One more time. 143%. We know Rob is definitely in a dangerous spot now.
So is Melfort. One good combo from Rob could spell disaster, and aren't going to be able to even it out here. But Melfort's in from the 99 here. They're worried, a little stress. Able to get some damage off here, but none of this damage matters if you're not able to take the stock. On the last bit of it. Trying to use on a combo from here. Could be the end of it. It's going to get big damage to knock it off. We're trying to find an opening.
6% on Melfort, now 158. Rob has all the tools he needs to knock Melfort out of this, but Melfort is doing his best to avoid it. Can get as much damage as he possibly can. Looking for an opening. Some more chip damage. Zoning on the ledge here. Ooh, nice ledge guard.
Charging up. Able to land. The block is going to come through. Ooh. There's one being used to it. This Rob sitting at 96, trying to land the lasers. He's going to be able to find the spike top's going to be blocked as well. Trying to reverse the kick. Not going to be able to get it. Oh. Unfortunately, getting so close to it, but they're able to take two off. And Rob is looking a little less dangerous than what they were last time.
Yeah. With one stock on Rob, whoever goes next on Boise State will have a really comfortable position to be able to take him out, which could be, I think I saw Gunslinger sitting in the chair, which would not be a bad opponent. He was doing really well against the Yoshi and the Rob, I believe, last time. And so, depending on which character he chooses to play, Palutena has some really nice damage to be able to at least take out one stock, which would be the goal. Just you have one stock to take out right now. And luckily, that is a really easy area to get to as long as you can avoid the lasers and the top. But it will be a dangerous spot to be in if he's not able to prevent any of those nasty combos from coming out right off the bat.
So we did see it, a little bit of the lock-in. Palutena is locked in, cheating a little bit on it, but you also saw it on screen, so it's not entirely cheating it right now. And just, I mean, my board's slowly getting closed. I'd say I'm at like a 70% right now, honestly, because if we don't see the Zero Suit come out again, then we know the Rob is that Zero Suit player. Closing out, I want to say by the end of it, it's not that important, but, you know, it's important to me to close this out. I would like to figure it out, but so far, you know, Dallas Baptist starting out at a positive ratio right now on round 3, but
we have
it's
seen
only
in the past.
one stock. Yeah, it's only one stock, so it's not that much of an advantage you're at. Ideally, Gunslinger's looking for the perfect scenario of just getting one done. Don't lose any stocks.
Evening it up,
yeah, I'd imagine at the very minimum you're okay with losing one and you know, getting a trade 1 for 1. So
because getting the Rob out of the way would be really big for them.
Yep.
I think that Gunslinger has the potential to be able to take this stock without losing one of their own. They were very good with Palutena, and as we saw, it was a very favorable matchup last time we went into this. So we'll have to see where this goes now.
Yeah, simply wait on the match to start up. And maybe Dallas Baptist taking a second, recollect the thoughts, get into it. You know, it's round 3. It's got to be. You know, the mentals sounding good on the side of Boise State at least. We can't hear Dallas Baptist or know what they're sort of looking like over there, but the overall attitude on this side of the screen is looking pretty good.
Yeah, and as we get into it, Rob is going to get rid of their first stocks here. Goes a little fancy with the second stock removal, jumping next to Gunslinger there. They're going to get right into it.
Not just yet. Who's going to get the first one? Gunslinger's going to find the first bit of damage there. Ooh, and the explosive is going to find value as well.
Combo wins. Gunslinger's able to dodge out of the worst of it. Nice block on the laser there.
Looking at an even amount right here. Less than, Rob is able to get the advantage right now. Trying to get down the loop and able to find it. Gunslinger's going to get the advantage once again, though, trying to find a little bit more value. Explosive was able to do it last time, not this time. They're just so close. Gunslinger's going to be the first to hit 100 here.
Oh, the top knocks Gunslinger off the ledge, but is able to still recover. Dodges the laser. Now Rob's on the ledge, waiting. Really wants to get a nice attack on so he can get some control off the side. Rob is playing very carefully right now.
Dangerous that top, almost finds it. Getting close, Scorpions are going to find it. Explosive not able to get anything. Once again, knocked pretty low.
Gets a grab. And with just,
wow.
Just barely. The game tried to give it to us, but Rob is able to recover. Gunslinger's have to work a little bit harder for that. Almost losing a stock there, too. Which would be very unfortunate, but Gunslinger's looking for their opening again. Up the top. Palutena is hanging on right now. Very dangerous spot.
This Rob has consistently lasted until about 150, until eventually they're able to be knocked out. Gunslinger ever so rising in it. 174. This Rob has yet to find an attack or a combo to finish it off. Gunslinger's so close to it. Ball ladies are going to be able to find the recovery there. Able to risk it. A 183 now.
Both on ledge. Palutena is able to get off the attack first, though. Knocks Rob out without losing any stocks. Bringing it even for Boise State, which is a really nice spot for them now with Rob gone, which was one of the biggest characters to try and get over, too, with Dallas Baptist. Boise State is in a lot more of a comfortable position going into this next matchup.
Yeah, 100%. You've evened it out what was sort of an advantageous spot that Dallas Baptist found themselves in. It's now gone. You're now back in an even spot with Gunslinger, you know, reaching a grand total of 183, which is, you know, it's up there. You really just one solid attack would have really ended it all there for the side of the Rob.
For a character who is not heavy by any means, it is pretty impressive to get anywhere near 200, especially with such a close call there. And so Gunslinger being able to just effectively dodge most of the really dangerous attacks or block them was super advantageous for Boise State tonight. And that's going to be really nice going forward, having all 3 stocks to face up against whoever Dallas Baptist chooses to bring out next. I would not be surprised if it was Link. I think Link would make a lot of sense here. They don't really want to get, like, I can see that happening. I don't think they're going to bring out Yoshi. I think they learned from last time that Yoshi should be the last player. They have the best chance of being able to actually, like, make waves at the end if they're, like, if the chips are down. But we'll have to see where we go next with this. There's a couple options. We do see a Yoshi on screen right
So
now.
far, yeah.
Oh, it is Yoshi.
Okay, wow.
So
wow.
that means that now we know that Dallas Baptist is going to try and go for a similar play to last time. Second round Yoshi, see where it goes. They have a better chance this time, not going up against Leodog, who had the best success against them, but Palutena still has an okay chance going up against this player. It'll be interesting. We have not seen this matchup fully yet, so we won't really be able to make a ton of just like predictions based off of the last round. If I had to guess, the Yoshi definitely has a very good chance here. Palutena is strong, but Yoshi's really fast, so it's just whether or not Gunslinger is able to keep Yoshi at a distance and then get them off the side as quickly as possible. With Palutena being such a light character, I can also see Yoshi getting some really strong attacks off with their tail and knocking them up in the air. That has been one of the most dangerous things about any Yoshi going forward. So this will be an interesting matchup to see so far. Like, it's not one that we've seen yet, which could be what Dallas Baptist is looking for right now.
I feel like in round 2, the Yoshi was a response to Leodog. I feel like seeing Leodog so early, I think, in my opinion, from an outside perspective at least, Yoshi was a response to that. I feel like now Yoshi is a sort of tactic that Boise State pulled out in the second round as well. They're bringing out a really strong player to hopefully sort of grab a lot of stocks and a lot of potential and sort of knock down Boise State really early and try and find a stock advantage. And that also means the players got to be confident in their ability to sort of to clean up as well, because I think as we sort of saw, Leodog sort of sitting at a grand total of 8 stocks right now. So you're giving them the potential right now. If Gunslinger and Palutena is able to knock down a couple stocks, 3 would be amazing. I found 1 at the minimum would be the best. Taking the Yoshi out early would be ideal.
Yeah, and as we can see, Gunslinger is able to get the first couple shots off here. Yoshi is able to fire right back with such powerful tail whips. Responding, just going back and forth right now, but Gunslinger does manage to get damage. Because as soon as I say that, Yoshi comes back. They're just trading shot for shot right now between these 2 players. They're both kind of looking for their solid footing here so they can get the first combo off.
Damage from the guys there, it's going to even out, take the advantage. 2 pretty big hits, 3 big hits back to back. He's going to put this Yoshi beyond the 100% mark right now. They're trying to find an opening. He's going to get hit again. Not able to find solid footing right now. He's going to be able to throw it in egg, get some damage off. Closer now to find anything. Now sitting at a 132. Very close. A combo attack away from being sent off. The first shot going the advantageous position for Boise State. Now to 145. It's so close. They get some blocks, and there's a big hit, but the recovery is there. And the explosive prediction also being found as well.
Swallow off, and then another attack into that, taking the first stock, but 70, Boise State just is able to immediately take another stock, bringing it pretty even for both sides right now. Currently, both players are out even right now, just with their general ability to deal with each other. They know what's going on, but they're just not able to find the advantage they need to really push away and get the stock advantage they want.
Stock neutrality right now. Solid damage off. He's going to get a lot from the Yoshi. The Yoshi finding a rhythm right now. Hey, predictive strats going here. 63%, 74 now for the Yoshi. Getting close.
We've seen Gunslinger last far longer than that, though, so we know that if they are careful, they will be able to last a lot longer. Let's see, 85% on Yoshi. Both of them just dodging around attacks, looking for their openings, trying to get some reads. Yoshi does get a powerful attack on, bringing Gunslinger up to 133 and knocking them out, bringing Gunslinger down 1 stock to Yoshi's 2.
Attack. 100.3%, able to find a solid amount of damage. The combo's going to come out, but it's going to be countered just a little bit. find an opening. Sitting in a dangerous position right now. The Yoshi being sent off the ledge twice now. Not able to grab a foothold, trying to get the ledge guard. Doesn't going to be able to find it either. Oh, back to back. Solid hits. Now trying to get the ridiculous strike. Isn't able to find it. And these eggs are going to give this Yoshi the space they need. Get back on the arena and just, they found a little bit of rhythm. Gunslinger at 85% right now.
Yeah. Dallas Baptist has started to take control of the field here. They've gained their momentum. Gunslinger knocks him over to the other side, trying to get rid of some of that. He's trying to ledge guard from a distance. Not a bad idea, especially with the percentage he's right now. She's able to block the explosive light attack from Palatena, but oh, and a strong attack there from Yoshi at the end there. Didn't look like it went through at first, but it does manage to knock Gunslinger out, giving Dallas Baptist the advantage of 2 stocks right now with their Yoshi.
Yeah, with their Yoshi, especially a strong player as well, and going to be looking to how Boise State responds to that. You know, you sort of have the option to bring out Leodog as well as a response to the Yoshi as well, and hopefully, you know, take an advantageous position, take off the 2, and then keep carrying on after that. And we've seen Leodog have that ability to sort of take stocks off this Yoshi and then keep it going even after that, being put to 1 stock as well. So, you know, I think either way, you know, Boise State kind of goes forward with this. Who would you kind of knowing that seasons might bring out the Ken as well? Who would you honestly bring that up? I
think that Ken would probably be the better option, just because knowing that Link would be next. If something happened to Leodog, as we've seen, Ken and Link just do not match up into each other well. Looking on the screen, though, it looks like instead of bringing out the Ken, we might be seeing Sephiroth instead, which would be I'd say, against a Yoshi, that wouldn't be a bad pick, just because his long sword, as in not the type of sword, but just how long it is, I will not be called out by production again for this, has such good range. It is able to effectively deal with ranged characters and just deal with a lot of good stuff. In addition to that, Sephiroth has a really nice ranged explosion ability that, if the timing is done right, is really nasty against light characters. So I think that Sephiroth against Yoshi is a really good pick going into this. We haven't gotten to see Sephiroth yet in this matchup, so that's another good thing for Boise State. Being able to kind of mix it up is always really good, because as we've been talking about over each round, the more information you have on how someone plays and the different characters that they're playing, the better you will be against them. So the fact that Boise State is able to kind of mix it up again, especially in the final match, where they think that they have all the information right now on Season Curly's, it's going to be really big for them going into this, because it's just and it'll be a really different character to try and deal with as well. Or
perhaps they're expecting Leodog to come out as well, in terms of, and that's sort of
that's their hope.
Probably. Maybe that's their hope, is that they're able to bait out Leodog so late into it and hope that their Link will get a good matchup. But yeah, I think Season Curly definitely is an advantageous fight here. The Yoshi could also be annoying with the spam with the eggs, not allowing that explosive ability of the snap to go through, being very annoyed in that, and I imagine you'd want to be very close quarters with that. But also, you know, Sephiroth has that ability to damage out just as much damage as Yoshi's able to. It's going to be a battle, but you have a stock advantage here. So even if you do trade stock for stock, you end up getting a positive value, and then you have the chance to take some off of Link as well at the end of the day. So I think how this plays out for Boise State, even though you're technically at a disadvantage right now, it can easily turn around so fast for Boise State right here, and at a round 3 level, the stakes are high. You know, the tensions are high as well.
Yeah, we can already see just everyone is quieted down in this arena, and I'm sure in Dallas Baptist as well. We are getting to the final legs of this journey here, and both teams want to do as best as possible, especially this match. This match is going to be kind of the defining tone here for the rest of this game. As we can see, Sephiroth is already taking some fire from Yoshi here with the eggs, able to try and effectively get rid of him with some of his snap-in. Having to do a lot of shielding, but hasn't gotten his ability to attack himself yet.
Really big damage off right here. He's not able to find They're going to find a little bit of rhythm. Only 20% though. It's quickly cut off. Now sitting at a 96% right now.
But Yoshi is nowhere near it. It's knocked off the side, but Sephiroth has pretty good recovery for situations like this against Yoshi. Go back to the middle. It's flipped again. Sephiroth, being a light character, is going to get knocked out there, bring the stock count 2-2. So it's going to pause for a moment to think about it. They don't want to lose too many stocks too quickly here to this Yoshi.
Here. Feels like comfortable at 31% right now. Not really feeling the pressure whatsoever. Get a little bit of damage, even it out. In fact, get the numbers advantage right now instead, and it's going to get more. Get a grab as well with it, and a tail slap. Finding the rhythm right now, and they're not letting go of it at all.
7% for Season Curly's now to Dallas Baptist, 48%. There's a long way to go with Yoshi, but he is starting to make some headway with the sword. Knocks him off the side, tries to go for the close explosion. Yoshi is able to jump right above it just in time.
Find that opening. 89% now to 114. Right, ooh, the slap. There's going to be a recovery in play this season. Ooh, big strike. Curly could find the advantage here, could find the stock take. Other side, wanting to budge though.
This attack on Yoshi, gonna try and set up an explosion. Yoshi, once again, just barely dodging it, but he does manage to get a nice hit off, bringing the stock 2-1 in Season Curly's favor now. And of course, as soon as I say that, Yoshi gets a really nice attack off as well, bringing it 1-1. Both teams only having one stock left in this round. The Dallas Baptist does have a lot more breathing room, unfortunately, than Boise State here.
So much damage off in the beginning.
Oh!
And without taking any damage on that last and final stock, he's going to be able to win it out and put Boise State at their final 3 stocks. And they're sitting at a rather advantageous position here as Yoshi only has 1 stock left here. And I imagine Leodog's looking to close this out without losing any stocks.
Yeah. Leodog, knowing that there are 2 characters that Leodog has to get through after Yoshi, his goal is going to be getting that fight done as fast as possible, losing no stocks to the Yoshi, which we've seen can go his way if he gets it set up right, and then just trying to get through the other characters as fast as possible, because he has to deal with Link is definitely going to be a potentially deadly character to deal with if he can't get the projectiles set up right. And then, of course, King K. Rool, which he has had some pretty positive matchups against. He's a heavy character, and typically with DDD, he does a really good job against him. The hardest part is just going to be that it's a stamina battle, just who manages to actually just outlast the other and get in enough hits. The Link is definitely going to be more of the problem, I think. So it's just the question of who they throw out next after Yoshi. But we do have to get through Yoshi first.
Yeah,
I think that it won't be too bad for Leodog. I can see Leodog coming out of this without losing any stocks pretty confidently, but the momentum right now is in Dallas Baptist corner right now, so that could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I imagine more than anything this Yoshi is looking to clean it up, but like you said, I think a lot of the favor is in the side of Leodog's in their side of the court right now because of their history with the Yoshi as well. First round going to the Yoshi, but Leodog's able to upset completely and entirely and take round 2 Yoshi versus Leodog's sort of matchup here. And I imagine after the Yoshi fight as well, I imagine the King K. Rool will come out. They try and get some stagger, try and get through their 3 stocks to get 1, to sort of get their Link the best chance there. But going against a 3-1 fight here in terms of the stock, not losing one is going to be very big here. Even if losing 1 will massively set back.
Yeah, it means that instead of having 2 stocks to spare, it's basically 1 and then you're done against the next 2 characters because each of them have a high likelihood of being able to take stocks from Leodog. see already projectiles are being traded right now. Yoshi get a couple powerful tail attacks too.
Bit of distance. Still not taking any damage here. Look at Leodog at a 57. Warren trying to be sent out, blocked, and this Yoshi, what was noted earlier, not afraid to follow you off the map. Still keep that even at the one stock mindset there.
You can see that Yoshi is playing a little bit more risk, high risk, high reward overall. I mean, he knows that Leodog is the last player for Boise State right now, and that Dallas Baptist has 2 more characters, so the more damage and the more stocks he can take, even if it means a trade, the harder it will be for Leodog to be able to come back from this if he gets knocked out. But the way it's looking right now, Yoshi is not letting up, and Leodog might lose another stock here.
Yeah, saying it was 130, even though it's a heavy. He sort of finally starting to feel comfortable there, able to sit up to a 90. Definitely Leodog can find the combos. Wrap this matchup as soon as it starts. I will get the up hit. Back on space. Once again, this Yoshi just not able to give Leodog the room and falling off. He's going to be able to give him some space, sent off, and put a rather high damage margin.
105 to 139. Leodog is trying to play it a little bit more safe right now. Trying to get a little off so that way he can bounce it off and get a combo, but Yoshi is not letting it happen, but he does manage to get a headbutt off, knocking Yoshi out, but at the cost of one of his stocks, which is going to make these next 2 matchups for Leodog a lot more dangerous and risky going forward. So the question now is who Dallas Baptist thinks is going to be the next best guy to go after DDD, and who they should leave as their anchor, just in case Leodog manages to get some tempo going and knocks all 3 stocks out without really having a lot of trouble.
Oh, so it's actually my prediction was going to be King K rule, and the sort of idea that this King K rule is able to get sort of ground and knock off some early able to knock off some early stocks, and then just leave Link to sort of clean it up with the hope that they only have 1 stock really to do, having 3 to 1 ideally. But I'm actually wrong with that, and it's going to be Link that's going to take it forward. And either order ends up doesn't really matter, because the Link still has an advantageous position, and like you said, it's going to be an annoying matchup for Leodog to take, and out of the 2 characters has the best chance to clean it up. But if Leodog's able to get some momentum rolling, if they're able to do it without losing a single stock, which I imagine is highly unlikely against his character, it's a possibility.
Yeah, this is going to be a very tight game for Leodog. I definitely think that against K Rool, they have a pretty good chance of being able to take all 3 stocks without losing 2. It's just going to be a very slow game for both of these teams, and it's going to be really important for Leodog to avoid Link, just avoid the damage that's being dealt with Link. Link deals more damage than you realize. You have to be really careful with that. This Link really loves to double up with the boomerang and the bow, so Leodog's going to be wanting to watch for that, but he is wasting no time bringing Dallas Baptist all the way up to 72% right off the bat. Bringing him off the side, knocks him as far as he can off the ledge. He is going for that stock knockout as soon as possible, and he's not really letting him get a lot of time to recover. With Link now at 120%. Leodog has a very nice position here to try and take his first stock.
Trying to get behind. Trying to get the big hammer hits in at 57 right now. Out of 140, this Link is able to recover. Trying to get some space. Leodog's not letting it happen. Back off though at the hit, and is going to be able to even out 2-2 here. Leodog's hitting at 66%. But we know.
Ooh, the bomb. Another bomb! Oh, if Link manages to hit another one, okay, Leodog does recover, but those bombs do a lot of damage, bringing him up a whole 50% higher than he was before that altercation at the ledge. Leodog, though, does not really want to let that stop him, bringing Link up to already. Now 74. He's trying to look for his next out as soon as possible, trying to get to 100% within the shortest time possible, and gets another knockout, bringing the advantage into his corner now, 2-1.
Oh, but set to a 1-1 stock advantage. This is probably the best scenario for this link. Honestly, the way that Leodog's playing is better than the Snake right now, but it's a stamina game.
Got a much higher starting position right now with stocks. Both sides are around even percentages, but now it's gone a lot faster for both sides, and Leodog is starting to lose some of his momentum. He does get another combo off. The spike is, the Gordo is dodged, and does, wow, Link is taking a lot of damage. Leodog might be able to end this right here if he gets this leg guard right, but he does get knocked away, losing some momentum.
It's twice now that he's thrown pitches exploded right before Leodog's able to absorb them, and gonna find it. Whoa! Wow! The bump from the grenade put Leodog right in the path of that downward strike, and he's gonna find it. And that's a closeout for the side of Dallas Baptist.
That was an incredibly tight hit there. If that well, I guess, yeah, if the bomb hadn't knocked Leodog just barely enough to the left to actually knock him out, that the sword would not have hit him. But because of that, Dallas Baptist is able to get the advantage and get the win, winning 2-1 in this best of 3, getting to go on to the next stage of this tournament now for NACE. Boise State did play incredible, though, I will say. This was not an easy fight for Dallas Baptist to take, and so Boise State, fighting their heart out, at least was able to make it a good show. And as we wrap this up, I would like to call out the Idaho Army National Guard, who is a proud supporter of Boise State Esports. Top plays are presented by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20K bonus and a degree of your choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. So now, wrapping up this match, we do have to talk player of the game. Who do we think made the most impact overall?
I know the last time I was on here, Noah informed me that, Leodog feels sort of, cliche of the classic to go to, but you can't ignore the impact that was there. I think in grand total, I think it was like 10 or 11 stocks taken out of the grand, out of everything, out of 3 rounds, which is sort of, out of 3 rounds to play, that's definitely a large, it's definitely a very long time to get a long stocks to get, but I think it's just undeniable their performance and their contribution to today's matchup.
I think that is a very safe bet. I mean, without Leodog, they would not have made it to the final round, so I would say Leodog is a pretty good bet. To have just another option out there, I think Gunslinger is another good option. He was just overall did a pretty good job helping just take out stocks and taking out characters that were really nasty like Rob, and so I think he also has a really good chance, but we're going to find out now, going to the player of the game to find out more about which player did the most, and it looks like it is going to be Gunslinger. As we can see, going up against that really nasty Rob there, did have some really incredible plays going up against just a lot of tough opponents for Boise State here.
100%, yeah. I feel like every player, ultimately at the end of the day, had an impact, and that's what it's going to take. Every player is going to have an impact of their own, and you can't ignore Gunslingers in this matchup.
Yeah, and as always, the player of the game is brought to you by ICCU, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central is helping members achieve financial success. Gunslinger is the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Incredible gameplay from Gunslinger. Nice to see him get some credit for his gameplay against Rob tonight. So, as we prepare to close out of this match, do you have any other big takeaways?
No, had a solid game. Way to push it around 3 and go all the way and really push Dallas Baptist to the very end of it. You guys played your heart out, and I'm glad to see you. I'm excited to see you guys. And what's to come next.
Yeah, Boise State played really well, and so now we're going to go ahead and look at the top 5 plays of the game from those incredible matchups, which are brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. With more than 10 jobs offering a $20K bonus and your degree of choice paid for, the Idaho Army National Guard is the best team out there. From all of us here at Boise State Esports, thank you for watching. Enjoy your top 5 plays of the game. They are able to keep Alice Baptist from nasty as a bubble off. They are trying to knock Boise State off the ledge now. Recovery is going to be made, and ledge guard denied. Now, has a lot of damage, but it's dangerous. Spike gets launched out, go across to the ledge again. Leodog avoids a very nasty ledge guard. Nice dodge there. Gets a grab. Alice Baptist over to the side.
Wow!
Just on the other side, not able to do enough damage to get him knocked out, but Boise State knows now that they can land a really nice hit here. Rob can and will lose his next stop.
Recovery here. The top is gonna find it, and wow, the run.
And will lose his next stop.
Recovery here. The top is gonna find it, and wow, the Rob's able to reverse it just a little bit, but they're not clearly out of the woods yet. They're gonna get a lot of small little bit of combo damage. Then, yeah, there it is. Able to risk it. A 183 now.
Get off the attack first, though. Knocks Rob out without losing any stocks. Make it even for Boise State, which is a really nice spot for them now with Rob gone.